Welcome to the In-Tune Guitar Academy. Today we're going to be learning the F chord. So far, and if you've been following my lessons, we've learned the D chord, the C chord, the G chord, and those three chords make up chords that you'd find in, among others, the G major scale. Then we moved on to learning how to play the A chord, the E chord, and we've also learned how to play A minor and E minor. Now today we're going to move on to something a little bit more challenging for beginning players. We're going to learn how to play the F chord. And the reason why it's challenging is that you have to cover two strings with one finger using your index finger, which is the number one finger. So first, before we begin, we always want to make sure that the guitar is in tune. So now I'm starting on the top string. So we just got to make sure that it's right here in the middle where we see the turquoise triangle shape light up right there. And then move on to the A note, which is a little bit flat. And then we're seeing that turquoise triangle show up. And then we move on to the D note, or D string I should say, D string. And then we got the turquoise lit up right in the right position. And then we move on to the G string. And the G string is in tune. There you go. And then B is a little bit flat, so I just turn the tuning peg just a tiny bit. And then you notice that I just go little bit by bit, just a hair of a turn, bit by bit. And then E, that one's a bit flat too. And then once I've gone through them all, I strum a chord. And usually the E major, if you strum it, not strum it, but pluck each string one by one, it tells you if you can hear that it's in tune. So I actually have my tuner on the guitar as well. So this guitar has a built-in tuner, but I also like to use the snap-on tuner called the Snark. Super Tight by Snark. So now that I'm in tune, we can start looking at the F major chord. So it starts off with, you take your number 3 finger, which is your ring finger, on your note hand, or not the opposite of your strumming hand, the hand that plays the notes and the chords. I'm a right-handed player, so it's my left hand. If you're left-handed, then it's the opposite. So anyways, you take the number 3 finger, put it on the 4th string, 3rd fret, which makes an F note. The octave is up there, that's the first F, and then another F. And then you take your middle finger, which is your 2nd finger, number 2 finger, and you put it on 3rd string, 2nd fret, which makes an A note. So you hear those two together, sound pretty nice. And then you add in the C, which is the 1st fret, 2nd string. And if you played it just like that, that would make an F major 7. If you cover both strings to make an F major, so you cover the index finger goes above, on top of the F note, which is the 1st string, 1st fret, and then it goes over the 2nd string, 1st fret, which makes a C. So you play the F, C, and the F together, and then you add in the A, and then you add in this F right here. So when you play all three together, and then you only play the first 4 strings, you don't play the top 2. So you don't play the A or the E notes, you just play the first 4 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. And that's a really nice sounding chord. So it makes the bases of quite a few songs. House of the Rising Sun, as I mentioned before, has an A minor, so we've already learned how to play that chord. And then a C major, then it goes to D, and then it goes to F. And that's going to be your most challenging chord if you're new to playing guitar, is learning to play that F, because you have to, as I mentioned already, you have to press down and make 2 notes at the same time with 1 finger. So this is actually going to be your first bar chord. It's working towards your first bar chord. And you just add in that A note, which is the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and you add in the other F note, which is 4th string, 3rd fret, and together they sound like that. And then, so if you play a song in G and C, G, C, then you add in an F, it makes a nice little break. So the basis of your song might be G and C, and G and C, and then you go to D, and then you can switch to F, just for a nice little break. So that's the F major chord. So I recommend that you practice that one, because it's a very handy chord to know. And basically you need to know all of them. The basic ones are A through G. We've already covered most of them. The next one we have to talk about is the B chord. So that's going to be for the next lesson. Thank you for joining me at the In Tune Guitar Academy, and we'll see you next time.